Meta AI is getting a big upgrade today. Is Llama-4-Maverick, the workhorse. It beats GPT-4o and Gemini Flash 2 on all benchmarks. It is smaller and more efficient than DeepSeek v3, but it is still comparable on text. This thing is a beast.
It's happening, guys. Llama-4-Maverick is out, and Meta has released this model again as open source model, which is pretty awesome comparing to proprietary model like GPT-4o and Gemini 2.0 Flash. It's beaten both of them across benchmarks, and also comparing to another open source model like DeepSeek 3.1, they are pretty comparable. Although it's not as strong as DeepSeek in coding, but in other aspects, they are pretty comparable. They're pretty close. And another advantage that Llama-4-Maverick has is that it has the ability to understand images, right? And this is something that is still missing in DeepSeek 3.1. Okay, so I think we have discussed enough about why Llama-4-Maverick is great LLM. Next up, let's see how we can actually use it inside VSCode, and how we can use it as coding assistant, research assistant, and personal assistant. To get started, move over to VSCode and then click the extension buttons. Then you can search for Roo Code. Okay, so this is the Roo Code. And basically install it, and then you should have it on the left hand side, or you can even drag it, right? So it should be here, and then you can drag it from the left to the right. And here's how you have access to Roo Code. Okay, so once you have Roo Code installed, now in order to set up a new model, you need to go to the settings. So it's here, and you should be seeing configuration profile, which is where we can add new profile using the plus sign button. So click here, and then I'm going to put in like Llama-4 demo and create profile, right? And then after that, we'll need to select the API provider. In this case, we're gonna select OpenRouter, and we're gonna need to get the API key. Okay, so in order for us to get the API key, we need to go to the OpenRouter website. So we can click on this OpenRouter documentation, and we can click OpenRouter.ai. Okay, if you have never used OpenRouter before, then you should go to Home, and then you can sign up using Gmail or whatever you prefer. And then go to your account, go to the key section, and then create key. Right, so I'm going to do test demo key, and then create. And now we have the API key, so click here, and then we can go back to VS Code, and over here we can put in the new API key. What we need next is the model name, so we're gonna need to go back to OpenRouter again, and we can click model, and we should be seeing Llama-4-Maverick. So we have the free version and the paid version. You can get the free version you can use for free with certain rate limits. So we can click copy here, and then we go back. Then we can put in the model ID here, and then click accept, right? And then we can choose like the providers. There's only one here, so we're gonna pick Shoots, and you can leave the other settings as default and click save, and done. Now that we have the Llama-4 set up, we can go to the prompts section, and then we go to each mode like code mode, and then we can select the API configuration as Llama-4 demo. Can select architect as Llama-4 demo as well. Ask use Llama-4 demo, debug use Llama-4 demo, and whatever mode you have, you can set as Llama-4 demo and click done. And here we are. Okay, so now that we have set up the model, I recommend pulling up the terminal. So click new terminal, and then we go here, and then actually install UV, pip install UV, and then enter. So this is a package that helps you manage your project and set up environments and track the requirements and everything. It's very nice, so I recommend installing. Now that we have UV installed, I will try and test the coding assistant ability by creating this new folder, example project, on the desktop. And we are gonna open that folder inside VSCode. Okay, here. And next, let's pull up Roo Code again and try this prompt. Can you help me create a new project and manage environment using UV? I want you to create a Jupyter Notebook tutorial teaching me how to do linear regression and interpret it on a dummy dataset. So it's asking me to check the UV version. It says that UV is installed. Now I will create a new project directory. So I will just run the command. Okay, so it created and it's installing new environment in libraries. Alright, and then it asks to create a new notebook. Alright, it's running. Okay, the notebook creation is going on. You can ignore this. It's gonna take some time, but let's see how it goes and what we get. Okay, we can save the notebook. Jupyter Notebook has been created. And then we can run the command. Okay, there's some problem over here. Let's just copy it and then tell the model that there's a problem and then see whether it solves it or not. Okay, you rerun Jupyter Notebook. Alright, seems to be working. Okay, now we see the main.py. Okay, that's the Python file. The problem seems to be that the Jupyter Notebook is still in a different folder. So we need to actually place this notebook inside that folder. So I have moved it and then we can go back and then we can refresh. And now we're seeing the notebook. And this is the linear regression tutorial created all by the AI. Let's run it and see how it goes. So I'm loading up the library. This is taking some time. Okay, so install. So now we just create dummy dataset. Do the train and test split, create model, and then we do prediction. Then we test the performance. We get like R square is pretty bad. We can visualize this. Okay, so that's why the R square is bad. So as you can see, it works not perfectly, but it works and it's free. It's a coding assistant that you can use to help you create files and edit files and many things. This is pretty cool. Okay, so as I mentioned in the beginning of the clip that this is just one of the things that an AI agent can do, like becoming a coding assistant. It can also be your personal and research assistant as well, which I'll show you how I did it using MCP. But for the setup tutorial, I think I'm gonna have to cover that in the next video. Otherwise, this one is gonna be way too long. So over here, if we are back to Roo Code, what we can see is that if we go to the MCP server, I have given this AI model like quite a number of tools from the MCP. Like over here, it has time, which means that it can access the time from the current time of Asia, Bangkok, for example, and then it can convert the time to other time zones. Uh, Even better, it can even use something like Perplexity for web search as well. So it can do research to find real-time information before it answers my queries. Another notable thing is the memory, which is actually I gave it ability to basically like save information into its own knowledge base as memory, so it can recall later on what I like and what I do not and things like that. So these are pretty useful. I'm gonna show you how it works. Okay, let's switch back to the agent chat UI. Okay, and then since I have already given Llama 4 ability to do web search, let's try and do some, let it find some interesting news. Okay, how will the new US tariffs impact Thailand? Please do research on latest news and implications using Perplexity, and then save the conclusion you make into your own memory. Okay, let's see what it's doing now. So it asked me to use perplexity-mcp. I have already checked always allow, so it should already be doing the searching. Okay, it found something. Okay, now it's like saving what it's learned into the memory. Okay, the new US tariffs are expected to have significant negative impacts on Thailand's economy, with huge estimated loss of 359 billion baht. Okay, so this will affect many industries like steel, aluminum, automobile, and all, even food exports, right? So yeah, quite interesting, and it did like look up a number of sources, and then it actually saved that into its memory, right? So what we can try is we can change. Okay, we just ask it like, what have you memorized so far based on our past discussion? Okay, so it's reading the graph. Okay, so it says that the user like mint chocolate ice cream and also US tariffs impact on Thailand. So it worked. There you go, guys. So that's how MCP works with the new Llama-4-Maverick. If you guys are interested, I'm gonna cover how to set up these MCP servers in the next video. And I hope you enjoy this video. See you again on the next one. Bye bye.